haven't been doing strict TBRs lately because I've just been mood reading and reading whatever's calling to me, but I have so many options on my radar right now. I just can't choose, and I need something to help me narrow down what books to read. So this month we're bringing back the TBR prompts. This cutie little TBR jar will be helping me choose my reads for the month. Now there's a little more pressure to pick good books this month because I'm actually, when I'm done filming this video, going to set up dozens of boxes and pack away my entire library because we are moving in less than 2 weeks. So there's a lot of pressure to pick good books because I'm not gonna be able to put it back and pick something else. Everything's gonna be packed away in boxes for the next couple weeks. So I'm a little bit scared to see what prompts we're gonna pick, but I honestly just can't decide what books I wanna read. So I'm gonna go ahead and trust that there's gonna be some good prompts in here and we're gonna read some good books this month. Now my kids love picking these little pieces of paper out of the cup, so I'm gonna let them each pick 2 books. So that'll give me 6 books, and I feel like that'll be good because I'm not gonna read as much as normal because, like I said, we are gonna be moving. I'll be audiobooking while we pack, but I won't have time to read a lot physically, so I'm interested to see how much exactly I'm gonna read this month with all of the craziness going on, but I feel like 6 books will be a good amount. You guys wanna come pick?
Yeah.
Okay. So you each can pick 2 pieces of paper.
Okay.
So here's paper number 1. Don't put slobber in the cup. That's yucky.
Hi. Hi.
Ah, they're falling out. Ooh, you got 2. Whose turn? Wait. Oh, there they are.
Don't try to put down Millie. It's hard.
As predicted, that took way longer than I needed to, but first prompt. Ooh, a crispy book. I'm gonna take that to mean it is either not floppy or it's like brand new and crisp and clean. And I actually have the perfect book for this prompt since it is my book club book. So we got like a 2 for 1. I don't have to read 7 books. I can read 6 because this book definitely fits the prompt. It is Theo of Golden by Alan Levi. Like I said, this is my book club book for the month, and I will have my Fable book club linked in the description if you guys want to join. It's free and you don't have to read the books. You can just join, chat about books, skip book recs, whatever. But I was absolutely ecstatic when this book won the poll because I have been hearing nothing but stellar, radiant reviews on this book. And I feel like it's very interesting that a lot of Christians and non-Christians both read this and love this. As you can see, it is very crispy. It's brand new. I say this qualifies as a crispy book. This is one of those novels that I feel like people have a hard time describing because it's kind of like a slice of life going along with the characters. So there's not much plot to necessarily describe, and those types of books often become some of my favorite reads. I'm excited to go into this one pretty blind. All I know is about a guy named Theo, and it is very cozy and hopeful. It sounds like this is going to be the perfect read for me during a very, very stressful time in my life, trying to sell our house, buy our house, move everything that we have as a family of 5, all while my husband's deployed. So yeah, I got a lot going on right now, and I feel like this is going to give me some good, cozy, but realistic escapism. So the prompt was a crispy book, and we're choosing Theo of Golden. Okay. Ooh, the second prompt says a book with a door on the cover. All right, let's see. Any of these, does this one? So for options, we have the Second Story Bookshop by Denise Hunter. I don't know if you would classify this as a door, but it kind of looks like it could be considered a very large door, or maybe it's an orb of light pouring out onto him. I'm not sure, but possibly victory over the darkness. Let's see. I feel like this one has to have a door on it because there's a ton of buildings, but I actually only see windows. I'm not seeing any doors. This is actually kind of harder than I thought. We shifted to the other side of my bookshelf. Let's look over here. I want to read this one. Does not have a door on it. Let's go up here. What about this one? Does this one have a door? No. I think we're just gonna have to go with the Second Story Bookshop. I thought for sure I would have so many other options that had doors on the cover, but currently it's looking like this is the only one that's gonna fit the bill. I'm not mad about it because this one is a small town second chance written by a Christian author. This girl comes back to this small town because her grandma passed away and left her the bookshop, but what she doesn't realize is she actually also left 50% of the bookshop to her first love. Small town, a grandma meddling even beyond the grave, and a bookshop, and a second chance at love. This sounds like it's gonna be perfect because I need something light and easy to read while I'm doing all of these crazy things, and I'm actually really excited for this one. Now on to the third prompt. Oh no. A sad book. Eesh. I don't know if I want to read a sad book right now, but we have to, unless I want to be a cheating liar and not follow my own prompt. You know, I'm not entirely sure if this one is considered a sad book, but I feel like a lot of people get emotional reading it. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I think this is one of the original like apocalypse type books where it's like futuristic dystopian, but it's really sad. I actually did read this in high school and I kind of remember what happened. As a non-reader at the time, this had enough to it to be like, okay, I'll read it. And I'm pretty sure the inside, like the font is super spaced out. It has very deep margins. So this one would also be a really quick read, which might be beneficial since I'm not gonna have a lot of time to read this month. But I don't technically know if people consider this to be a sad book, but I'm gonna leave it as an option, as a contender, and I'll look at whatever other books are on my shelf and then we'll decide. Is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers sad? I feel like people have said that it is sad, but I don't know. To Kill a Mockingbird, The Giver. See, I don't know if any of these really work with the prompt. One book that is coming to mind is The Book Thief. I think people tell me that that is sad. Either that one or The Kite Runner. I kind of get the two mixed up a little bit. I could honestly just go for a Kristen Hanna book because she knows how to make me cry. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and choose The Road. Now let's move on to the fourth prompt. Ooh, yes. Found family. My all-time favorite trope. Love me some good found family. What could we choose? Honestly, I feel like I could pick the second book in the Lycanius trilogy because there is some very good found family in there. Ooh, but do I want to commit to that? I don't think I do. What to do. I'm gonna have to read the back of some of my books and then I'll come back with my decision. All right, I think I've decided, and this is terrifying. It is terrifying. Is there any book that would fit the prompt better? No. I don't think so. We're going with The Fellowship of the Ring by none other than a J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm gonna have to film a reading vlog for that one, so I will have to start reading that after we fully move in. But that'll be a nice book to really relax and just sink into. After all of the hard work of moving and finally getting everything finalized, I can just relax in Middle Earth in whatever kind of hobbit hole I create in my new house. I'm so excited. The fifth prompt is a book with wings on the cover. One book immediately that came to my mind, Ember Gold by Rochelle Nelson, and honestly I don't feel like scouring my shelves for other options because I am actually really anticipating reading this. I believe this is a Christian retelling of Beauty and the Beast, except reverse the roles and add a dragon. I've got no idea how that's gonna work out, but all of the Christian readers that I follow have actually given this at least 4, but mostly 5 stars. And what's really selling me is it's a standalone. A lot of the other options that I might have on my shelf would be starting new series, and I'm already in the middle of like 8 series, so I don't want to do that. So we'll have a nice little cozy fantasy standalone. I feel like this is going to provide some great palate cleansing escapism vibes that I might need. So for the fifth prompt, we chose Ember Gold. It's the last prompt. Let's see what we got. Okay, a book with a red cover. Again, one that immediately came to mind. Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. However, there is not an audiobook version of this that I have found. It's very chunky and I already have The Fellowship of the Ring that I'm going to be taking my time with reading physically, so I don't want to put this one on the TBR this month. Okay, the options that I'm looking at are The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. Again, I'm not interested in starting another series right now. Catching Fire, which is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, but I need to read the first book, so can't pick that one. I think I'm actually gonna put Red Rising on my TBR. I did already read this book. However, I feel like I need to reread it before going into the second book because it's been quite a long time since I finished the first book and I did forget a lot that happened. So I might put that one on the TBR. I've actually never reread any of the books that I have on my shelf, so that would be my first ever reread. All right, I had to go through and pick out some options because I'm actually not sure what I want to choose for this prompt. The first option would be The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater by Jamie Jo Wright. This is a Christian Gothic mystery thriller. An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, but again, this would be starting a new series and I don't know if I want to do that. However, this has been sitting on my shelf for like 3 years unread. And it kind of looks like a large book, but again, the margins are super spaced out and it's young adult, and I honestly feel like I could fly through this. So even though this would be starting another series, I feel like it could be a good option. I don't know if this would be classified as cheating because it's kind of like a black cover, but I would say like half of it's red, so it could work. And I do really want to reread this book before I go into the second one because I want to make sure I am freshly remembering like the politics and the characters and everything that happened. And plus, I wouldn't have to pay necessarily the most attention because I've already read it, so I just need kind of a little refresh. So giving this another listen could honestly be a really good idea. I also forgot that this cover was red. It's Beneath a Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan, and it's a World War II spy historical fiction novel. Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas could be an option. However, this would take me some time to read and I'm not sure if I want to commit to that, but it would feel nice to complete another book in the series. And the last red colored book that I found was The Women by Kristen Hanna. We have 2 historical options, 1 mystery thriller option, 3 fantasy options. I think I'm gonna end up going with a reread of Red Rising. And now that we chose the 6 books, I'm gonna go through my shelf and just have a free pick to myself. I also do have this book by Courtney Walsh really high up on my TBR as well, because I recently read My Phony Valentine by her and it was nearly a 5-star read. And I never would have guessed that because I think the title and the cover is really cheesy and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a fun 3-star, but I actually really loved it. If I have time, I think I might try to read that one on Kindle. Now I do have to choose one more book because it is a goal of mine to read 1 Christian nonfiction book every month. So for my nonfiction read of the month, I'm gonna choose Victory Over the Darkness by Neil T. Anderson, mainly because it's a really short book. This is actually the only book that I convinced my husband to read and he read it and he loved it. And he's not a reader, so that's very high praise coming from him. He's been telling me like I need to read it because I'm asking him to read all the time, and then I finally get him to read and I haven't even read the book, so he's like, you need to read it. This is a very eclectic cluster of books, but honestly, I couldn't be happier. I love the variety. I love the genres. Many of these were high on my priority list anyways, so I'm really happy with this month's selection. Now let's do a recap of the prompts in the books. The prompt was a crispy book and we're choosing Theo of Golden. The second prompt was a door on the cover and we picked The Second Story Bookshop by Denise Hunter. The third prompt was a sad book and we picked The Road by Cormac McCarthy. For the fourth prompt, we had Found Family and we chose The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. For the fifth prompt, we chose Ember Gold by Rochelle Nelson. For the sixth prompt, we had a red cover and I chose Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And for my Christian nonfiction, I'm going to be reading Victory Over the Darkness by Neil T. Anderson. But it's obviously a goal of mine to take down my physical TBR, and that's gonna take me some time because I have a lot of books that are unread on my shelf. That's okay, we're gonna fix that. If you wanna see any of these books in a reading vlog, let me know. I'm for sure gonna film me reading The Fellowship of the Ring because I wanna have my experience reading this book for the first time documented. But if you have any fun video ideas for me or reading vlogs you wanna see of these books, let me know. And I also wanna give you guys a heads up, the next couple of videos that you're gonna be seeing from me are going to be a little bit less bookish and a little bit more lifestyle, since it's really gonna take me some time to get all of our stuff moved out of this house and moved into our new house. So I'm gonna be attempting to do a moving diaries series where I let you guys in behind the scenes of all of the chaos of us packing up and moving, and empty house tours and setting up my new home library. But once everything is finalized and we're moved in, I will be going back to my regular bookish program. Before you go, let me know what books are on your TBR for the month of March. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I pray you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!